Setup of the path plotting is the same as before. You select a log and a message, and then populate your axes. Set your nominal width in inches. Best to use as if it's available. Go ahead and plot. We'll plot out all of our paths. At that point you can disable paths if you want. So say I don't want that one shown. Looks like 21. So these are things that you don't clearly want to plot. You can remove them, and then when you hit measure plots, they'll be excluded from the list. I added this little arrow here so that you can just shift over the ones that all the paths, and then select just the ones that you want to plot. Let's say I want to do 10 to 11 to 9, break. So this is the break button. Create a break. And then I do 12, 7, break, and then 13, 6, and on and on and on. You can do as many as you like. And then go ahead and submit. This is where the file will be stored as far as name goes in the exports directory. So you can make that whatever you want. And then I'll go ahead and skip past the plots that are skipped, or there's not a valid actual path. Okay, so the rest of this, same as before. You'll notice that now we label these by the plot, and you can kind of move this stuff around. In reality, you can also change colors of these things. So if I say visible items, plot legend, you're going to notice that there's 7 plots, or 7, graphs associated with each one of these box plots. It's just how it works to make it work in this program. So really, if you want to change the color of any of these, this one for example is kind of light. Just got to change all 7 of them, but it is possible. And then I don't think there's really a way of changing the color. It matches the color of the graph. So when I go back, I'll kind of discuss that a little bit. So if I want to, section off some of these, I can do it at the start. Scroll down, take a look, do it at the end. So I want to get rid of 1 at the end. Or I can just say, only give me the values between +3 and -3, for example. So that's the extent of this. The changes made. One thing to note is that if you do change the colors before you plot them, they'll pass through with easier to read colors. So if I just change this color, so let's just say black. Then when I go ahead and measure, so notice that when I measure the second time, it's just going to bring up the previous list. And a couple of things that you can do in this is you can just add to this list kind of manually. So I had a break, and I could say give me 3 versus 2, for example. So hold Control button, I can just drag and click on this and name it 3. And then drag that down and name it 2. So you can always kind of manually edit that list. Then submit. And then you'll notice that 3 to 2 is off by a whole bunch. And the reason being is that we just plotted 2 things that are pretty much directly in line with each other. So they're off by 432, basically. The expected distance. that covers the additions to the path plotting.